in a way, I love what Greg does with his tactics, and I've just recently interviewed him. I haven't played it on my show yet, but I think he's done a wonderful job in giving people ways into those conversations and how to turn them to gospel advantage. But to be honest, I think the best thing that I think often gets modeled on those conversations for people is just people's willingness to listen and to try and understand another person's point of view. The graciousness with which a Christian guest will treat a non-Christian, I think that speaks volumes to the listening non-Christian audience. And I think sometimes the danger so often with Christian apologists is they want to get in there and immediately correct everything that they hear from the other side. But I think actually we need to learn to listen and to not immediately jump in with corrections, because otherwise it just becomes an argument, and it doesn't become a genuine kind of conversation. So part of it is just learning what to respond to. Okay, because in a conversation, especially if someone's got multiple issues, you can't respond to everything. So you have to. I think the most helpful thing is finding what's at the bottom of the objection. What's the core thing that this person seems to be objecting to? What's their main objection, and try and work with that. So I had myself a kind of it was a bit more of a formal debate at Oxford University with another atheist YouTuber called Rationality Rules, and after we'd both done our kind of opening 10-minute presentations, we were then simply invited to sit down and kind of have a kind of moderated conversation, a bit like I have on Unbelievable. And I couldn't respond to everything that he had brought up in his opening statement. There just wasn't the time. So I had to just let some of that go. But there were certain things I picked out, which I felt were the most important issues he had raised, the most fundamental issues, and those were the ones I wanted to address with him. And I didn't just want to address his objections; I wanted to make my case as well. So I used that opportunity to actually also hone down on some of what I felt were the weaknesses in his atheist worldview, and asked him to try and defend those. And I think that's often the thing to do. It's to find the thing that you're most comfortable addressing and that's most critical in the conversation, and make sure you keep on that subject. Don't get the danger so often I've found, and it kind of can happen quite often on my show too, is people can be dragged off into different paths. Red herrings can come up, which kind of take you away from the main thing being discussed. And I always like to try and say, okay, let's shelve that. It's an important issue, but that's not at the center of what our conversation's about. And we're going to waste too much time talking about that if we go down that path. So trying to keep the main thing, and make sure that it's a genuine conversation.